Hello everyone, welcome back to another Star Wars Galaxy of Heroes video. Today, I'm going to be ranking all of the capital ships in order from least beneficial, useful kind of thing to the best, you know. The list will be backwards instead of like at the top start up with the top being the best, but we'll start from the bottom and go all the way to the top. So, at the very bottom of the list, should be no surprise, is the Endurance. The Endurance is... there's no fleet for it. There are no ships for it because the Negotiator takes all of the Galactic Republic ships to it, and then like you use the leftover 2 or 3 that you don't use with like the Resistance or whatever, so that leaves nothing for Mace. I mean, the Endurance fleet is okay to start with, but like... even then, it's been outclassed by Tarkin with all the additional Empire ships that have been released over the last year and a half-ish now. So, I mean, yeah, very bottom of the list is the Endurance. No surprise there. Up next, Home 1. Same issue as with the Endurance. The Home 1 loses a lot of the key Rebel ships to the Profundity. The only things you don't really use with the Profundity are like Biggs, Wedge, the Bistian U-Wing, the Cassian U-Wing, and the Raven's Claw. And the Raven's Claw was specifically designed to work with the Home One, but the problem is the Home One's not good anymore. Without all the, like, the Rebel Y-Wing, the Ghost, or the Outrider, or Hans Millennium Falcon, it's just, it's just not a threat. Like, it's just a very, 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 very mediocre fleet at best now. It's been power corrupt to all belief unless they release something like Red 5 or some new Rebel ships to bolster it up to a usable degree again. I don't see myself using it ever again for a long while. I mean, it's taken me this long to even get 70 of 100 for the Raven's Claw, and that's just with me not even trying to farm it up because of like the Leviathan ships that came out and then other stuff I'm still working on. So yeah. Up next, as you can see, is the Raddus, which is the Resistance fleet. The Resistance fleet, honestly, is not the worst thing around the block. It's not the best either. It's quite the durable defensive fleet if you get stuck behind the bomber or like one of the X-Wings, like Poe or the Resistance X-Wing. It can be quite the nuisance. The problem is, it's not a full Resistance fleet. It takes stuff from the Galactic Republic. It's more just it's like the inverse of the Leviathan fleet. It's a survivability kind of thing behind buffs, and then once it gets enough of the ult charge going for the Raddus, it'll just blitz you and kill your capital ship. So it's a bit of a nuisance, but it's a decent fleet, and also for some reason right now it can beat the Leviathan, which is the new all-seeing, all-dancing capital ship that is getting beaten by anyone and everyone, it feels like. I know Executor has no issues against the Leviathan, but we'll get onto that later on whenever we get to the Leviathan. Up next is the Finalizer. And I know the Finalizer could be higher for some people if you have them modded properly and relics properly to run against the Executor. And it is a good fleet. CG was trying to like frame the TIE Dagger as being a way to help out the First Order Finalizer fleet with damage. No, the Dagger is best with the Leviathan, obviously, and yeah, I mean the Finalizer fleet's not bad. It's only the CG's trying to get more and more in tune to having everyone run five ship fleets, so that's the reason why it is the way it is. The problem with the Leviathan, the Profundity. The issue with the Finalizer is the fact that it has no healing, and you're relying solely on these three keeping everything going. We have the OG Kylo shuttle funneling TM to cruise TIE Silencer, while also hoping your Echelon stays alive long enough to keep tanking things. I mean, yes, the Echelon does have a way of regaining health protection whenever First Order allies a crit hit. However, crits are not always guaranteed, and it is what it is. So yeah. Up next, the Malevolence. The Malevolence is an interesting fleet. It's it can be quite the banner stripper on defense if you're running on defense, but on offense, you lose banners running it, obviously, because you're going to be losing your GOs if they're not relics. You're going to be losing them regardless because your Hyena Bomber is just not going to be able to sustain the damage it needs to because, well, it has no pilot and its stats are not based off of like Relic 9 stats, I don't believe. It doesn't scale with like the highest stats anymore, which is weird. They haven't I don't know if they haven't updated it or if I'm just talking out my ass, but yeah. I mean, the Malevolence is good. You can counter you can counter basically every fleet below it. You can take out the Negotiator pretty well. You can take out Thrawn and Tarkin fleets relatively easily. But the thing is the Malevolence is a banner stealer on both defense and offense. If you're running it on defense, you're more likely not going to see a whole lot of like holds with it unless your opponents just fudge it up and like completely just get stuck behind it. And then on offense, you're going to get down to like either Spy and Soldier and a couple of Vulture droids because you probably have lost already Sunfok and the Hyena Bomber. So you got to hope you don't lose anyone because then once all your Vulture droid, like once your last actual ship is down, everyone dies. So it's like the very painful fleet to run. It's good fleet, but it's getting a little long in the tooth. Maybe eventually Trench will get his own capital ship, or maybe we'll get some more solar sailors for like Dooku and Asajj to help boost up like a Geo fleet or something like that. But like until then, it's a very middle of the road kind of thing. And then Negotiator. I have made my hatred for the Negotiator very well known. I'm not a fan of its undying loyalty. The fact that it was bugged for the longest time does not help matters. And like, unending loyalty. I don't know, I think it's undying, but unending loyalty is quite the nuisance to contend with. And apparently the Negotiator is another ship that can also counter the Leviathan. Go figure. It doesn't work 100% of the time, but it does work in some cases. But yeah, the Negotiator is a really good defensive fleet. Offensively, it's also very good. It's just, I don't know, the times are moving to faster and faster fleets. So, I mean, as long as you can keep it defensively going and have Anakin just start dishing out damage, or have Fives or Ahsoka come in and help do damage, you'll have Plo cleansing all the debuffs you have on your fleet. So it is a really good fleet. It's just yeah, I don't know. I was never part of the Negotiator meta. I have luckily avoided it because I went for the Malevolence instead. And yeah, it's a very good fleet, but it's not the top of the totem pole anymore, I guess, whatever you want to call it. Up next, we have Thrawn. Now, the Thrawn fleet I have with him is the Sith Empire fleet that you can run on defense if you don't have Leviathan in like Territory Wars or Grand Arena or whatever. Because this fleet under Thrawn is quite the headache. It is very good defensively. And Thrawn is just a very good defensive fleet as it is, even with Empire fleets. Like, you don't have to run Thrawn with the Sith. You can run Thrawn with the Empire fleet. But would you really want to is a better question, because you're not going to have as many Empire ships left over to run a full Thrawn Empire fleet, because you'll have Tarkin and the Executrix, which we'll get to in a minute, taking a lot of the Empire ships. And that's the other problem, is we have 3 Empire capital ships. One is Tarkin. That's a pure Empire fleet that you run with the Scythe, the TIE Fighter, the TIE Bomber. You can run Defender, or you TIE LN or TIE Advance with it, and then that leaves you with not a lot left. And also, these fleets, you're not like stuck to using this like one fleet lineup or another with a certain fleet. They are very flexible. It's just, we have 3 Empire capital ships, 1 that's for bounty hunters and then 2 that are for Empire, but we don't have enough to make 2 full Imperial fleets, because we only have 9 regular Imperial fighters. Or, yeah, fighters, regular ships, not capital ships, you know. So, CG is going to have to start introducing more Empire ships to give Thrawn something. Maybe we will see that because of the Ahsoka show. We'll see something with the 7th Fleet again, I'm hoping, but only time will tell, coming up in August. And yeah, speaking of the Empire, Tarkin is quite the good fleet. the lineup I have here is just like a one you could run kind of thing. If you're running, here's the thing: you could switch out Vader for the TIE Fighter out front, so that way you have 3 TIE Fighters, the bomber to hide the scythe behind, or you can have Vader out front and you're running with TIE LN, and the TIE LN comes in immediately and starts just doing TIE interceptor things. You know, the Tarkin fleet is very, very good. It can take out Profundities, it can take out Negotiators. I don't know if people have tried it against Leviathan, honestly, I'm not entirely sure, but the Tarkin fleet punches up very well, and it's also very decent on defense. And, you know, being the best... The thing is, he's the best dark side fleet overall. The best light side would obviously be the Negotiator, and with Thrawn tied for being also one of the best best non-GL ship is what I should say. The Negotiator is the best non-light side GL capital ship, and then Tarkin and Thrawn are the 2 best non-GL dark side capital ships. So with those 3 all up at the top, you have a lot of flexibility. The thing is, like I said, Tarkin takes a lot of the Empire ships, which doesn't leave you a whole lot to run with Thrawn, which is a problem because you can't, if you're running the Sith Empire with Thrawn, you're not going to be able to run the Leviathan fleet because you need the Leviathan fleet to have Sith and Sith Empire ships. So it's just we're getting to the point where we have capital ships that aren't housing full complements of their own factions or whatever, you know. It's just a complaint on my end, but I do wish CG would add more Empire ships to flesh out the Empire fleet to give Thrawn and Tarkin their own, you know, best fleet kind of thing. So that's it for those. Now for the GL level ships, whatever you want to call it. Coming in at last at the moment, which is, you know, third, there's only 3 capital ships that are GL levels, is Leviathan. I know that might be a very odd thing to say, because the Leviathan is supposed to be the new meta. However, before everyone flames me in the comments, hear me out. The Leviathan we were sold and the Leviathan we got are not the same thing. It is still fundamentally bugged. It does not hold defensively very well, because the Profundity has no issues killing it. I think Executor struggles a little bit, but if you do the triple attacker lineup with the Executor, you're going to have no issues killing a Leviathan. You have Negotiator that can handle it. Raddus, the fucking resistance fleet under Holdo and the Raddus, can beat this. I don't know if Malevolence can do it, but I imagine some variants of the Empire fleets can do it as well. This is supposed to be the new meta-defining fleet, and it does not feel meta-defining. I know it's bugged, but until it is not bugged, it is going to be below the Executor in terms of like the best GL dark side capital ship. Because if everything can counter it, that does not make it meta-defining. It makes it very mediocre. It is a fun ship, do not get me wrong, but it is fundamentally flawed, and until it gets fixed, it's staying at 3rd best GL level ship GL capital ship until it gets fixed. And then obviously at the top we have the Executor and Profundity being the 2 best fleets in the game. So Executor might be an odd choice for some people to be saying, because the Executor can be countered by Profundity, by some Finalizer fleet lineups. It can be killed pretty easily, and a lot of people are on defense, right? But it's still a very good fleet. It can still cause people a lot of issues if you're not paying attention to the lineups. Like if it's triple attacker and you don't kill anyone in your opening salvo, then guess what? You're going to be giving the Executor fleet and those bounty hunters a lot of wiggle room to start blasting away and getting their contracts set up. So, and like I said, until the Leviathan gets better, and the Executor, like, it'll still be below Executor in terms of the best GL dark side ship. And then Profundity, it's just the best light side GL ship. I hate it. I don't like the way the download thing is set up with it, because of the whole, oh, you have to get assists to get more of the download sped up, so that way you can get the plans acquired. And, you know, like, it's a very good fleet. It's just having it to where it's set up to where you have to hope you get assist off your rebels is annoying. Also because this is the thing, whenever Rebel scores crit hit, there's a 20% chance to call another Rebel ally to assist, including the capital ship, and it increases download by 1%. That's a very low chance to be basing your entire fleet in this download thing on. Like, it's not a bad idea, it's just you're relying so heavily on that download to go that you may end up being stalled out waiting for it to just proc. And, yeah, I mean, the Profundity is very good defensively. It's, like I said earlier, it kills Leviathan with ease. I plummet daily with my Leviathan because people just kill it with Profundity. It's annoying. But it is a very good fleet. I don't know what to say about it. It is what it is. It's another really well thought out fleet. While the Leviathan, I'm gonna keep coming back to the Leviathan. Leviathan's still struggling to even catch up and get on its toes and get its feet on the ground, start running, and get its leg in a race, I guess. But yeah. Before I end up the video, I want to thank everyone for getting me to 330 subs. Let's keep going. Don't forget to hit like and hit subscribe. And let me know in the comments what you think of this list, if you agree with it. If you think Leviathan should be at the top with Profundity in terms of best GL ships. If you think it should be where it should be. If you think other ships should be higher or lower, let me know in the comments below. And thank you guys for watching. And I will catch you later on. I hope you have a good day.